SmackDown was decent, dreams come true. CM Punk is main eventing WrestleMania. Ryback, I miss you. I absolutely loved this segment. Roman was hilarious, Rollins was great, and this is what wrestling is all about to me. What's crazy is that we even got a twist. It seemed obvious that the main event spot is the favor, but Punk said that it ain't. I want your soul, Paul. So there's definitely a lot to talk about, but before we jump into SmackDown, I'm struggling to understand something, people. Lately, every time I post a review, I get a comment, just enjoy the show, Mark. You clicked on a review video. It's my job to nitpick everything and point out the flaws of the product.
Hey everyone, I just watched SmackDown. Let me know in the comments below if you did too. Peace.
All the time I'm getting he's too positive, he's too negative. People, I just want you to understand, it's my job to talk about the product. This is a review video. My opinion doesn't have to change your opinion. I'm talking to a very small minority right here. These are just my thoughts because this is a review video. Thankfully though, I found the loophole. I don't want the heat, so I asked my dear friend to actually give you a summary of the show.
Hey everyone, this is the master of the 619. SmackDown was a decent show, but honestly, way too long. I know the Great One talks about it a lot and gets a lot of heat, but these are the thoughts of the greatest luchador, Booyaka. I enjoyed a lot of the matches, and both segments were great, but holy f***ing shit, these shows don't need to be 3 hours long. Angie always falls asleep. Some of these matches were the definition of filler, and 3-hour WWE shows, Booyaka b****s.
Very strong big words from Rey Mysterio right here. Obviously, I wouldn't say anything like that. These are not my thoughts. But please, people, be nice to Rey Mysterio. Here, well, the show kicks off with the WWE champion Cody Rhodes. Obviously, the crowd was electric. This show was in London. He said he's going to meet John Cena on Raw, and Randy Orton interrupts. Obviously, that got me very excited. A lot of history right here. And Randy Orton was kissing Cody's ass, basically talking about how much he achieved. And this was like a real segment. Randy Orton said, "I'm proud of you." You know, I appreciate the hot crowd. It's unbelievable. I love it, and I'll miss it once WWE goes back to America. At points, I was like, okay, you see Randy Orton doing this, and at points I felt like, okay, shut up now, let them finish with the segment. Hot crowd is amazing, wouldn't change it, but at a certain point, you're trying to be the stars of the show, and during the segment, I almost kind of felt that. But he says, one day I'll challenge you for this championship, but I'm not gonna kick you in the nuts. I'm gonna challenge you face to face. Oh man, another betrayal. I wouldn't be surprised, people, if at WrestleMania Randy Orton is going to turn on Cody Rhodes. You know, it would be a great moment because Randy and John Cena have such history. What tells me that this may not happen, though, is the fact that I do believe at Backlash we're getting John Cena versus Randy Orton. We saw the ads of WWE advertising both guys. Something tells me this is the match, and at this point it's an absolute dream match, right? I know there will be marks who are going to say, well, the match is not gonna be great, it's gonna be slow. People, this is my biggest hot take probably. As long as you have two big stars, the quality of the match almost doesn't matter to me at that point. Drew McIntyre crashes the segment, calling Cody and Orton nepo babies and claiming he should be main eventing WrestleMania instead. A lot of tensions right here, man. We got a fight, almost an RKO, and WWE set up Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton on SmackDown. Okay, fine. That's great. Well, SmackDown, you're doing something finally. Finally, a match we can actually look forward to and not just a random-ass six-man tag. I appreciate that. All in all, I know there are mixed feelings about this John Cena heel turn, and at points it does feel like WWE didn't really have a plan. I mean, this is going to be his last Raw appearance before WrestleMania, as crazy as that sounds, and we still have no idea. The Rock, explain The Rock, Cena? What the f- We got the WWE Tag Team Championship match, the Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly. So obviously Pretty Deadly, to me at least, felt like the babyfaces right here, and I'm kind of confused about the Street Profits. Are they heels? Are they babyfaces? I have no idea at this point, but the theme song, oh my god. Again, it's Def Rebel, and the crowd reactions are getting smaller. This is something I talked about for so many times. Not every WWE theme song needs to start with the announcement of the names! Pretty fun match though, and Pretty Deadly are really growing on me. Really good stuff right here, enjoyable match. Obviously the Street Profits retain the championships. It is fascinating though that WWE fixed the problem of terrible music by adding more terrible music. I love that. I love that. Naomi was definitely one of the biggest stars of the show. I like the presentation. I like how she feels like I always did everything right. And she's right, she was barely a heel in the WWE. So what changed? She feels like she made the right call, and I love the presentation, the attire. She looks like a heel. Now is the time Naomi actually gets pushed in the WWE. She came back from TNA and we were like, okay, she's winning, she's losing, but she's just kinda there. Now is the time. We got Piper Niven and Alba Fire versus Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Not gonna lie, this one definitely felt like a filler. I know there's some kind of a story, but really didn't care about it. Again, Chelsea is popular everywhere. She's beloved by every single country in this world. And the heel team won the match. We got the United States Championship match, people. Braun Strowman versus LA Knight, who got his old theme song back. It sounds almost the same, but this one feels, you know, like the original, like it should be. The other one sounds like a cover that, you know, they tried to replicate not to get copyright issues on YouTube. You know, even though I was not excited about this match, I kinda enjoyed it. Two babyfaces, something different. A championship match on SmackDown, LA Knight trying to solidify his United States Championship title reign. So I quite enjoyed it. Friendly competition right here, but we got Jacob Fatu, match ends in DQ. And I kinda like that. Jacob Fatu is coming for the United States Championship. He told that to Solo and Tama Tonga too. He basically said, I'm going to do it with you or without you. Every time we feel like the WrestleMania plans are sealed, they change something. And the weird case with LA Knight is that every time we get this new challenger, I'm like, okay, I want to see this guy as the United States Champion. But then it's like LA Knight. He just won the championship. I don't want him to lose the title. On the other hand, Jacob Fatu as the United States Champion? Yes, please. Yes, please. Another thing that wouldn't be on a 2-hour show is The Miz and Jimmy Uso. Miz calls him the other Uso, and we got a match. The Miz versus Jimmy. And again, this accomplished absolutely nothing. Okay match, and Jimmy Uso wins. What's also crazy is that this was the last match of the show. Tiffany talked about Charlotte Flair. She has more to lose at WrestleMania than just the title, and it seemed like she's kinda losing confidence. I'm not sure if this was character work or she really feels like, you know, after previous segment, she felt a little insecure about this. I don't know why. We all probably feel similar about the storyline. I don't think there's anything that would get us excited about it more than what we feel right now. I think we kinda reached the peak of the excitement. Also got Michin versus Charlotte Flair, so Charlotte is just facing these opponents that she's obviously going to beat, and that's exactly what happened. It was time for Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. So this was fun because, you know, a lot of nostalgia. It's crazy to say, but I'm already feeling the 2020 nostalgia. This was the biggest rivalry in the WWE at one point. If you watch WWE, I know a lot of people didn't because, you know, we didn't have a crowd. The product was kinda ass. But I enjoyed it because I'm a big fan of Randy, and Drew McIntyre also being in a big match feels almost refreshing at this point for whatever reason. What I found interesting though is that Randy Orton got distracted and Drew McIntyre picked up the W, which was pretty unexpected in my opinion. So at least WWE are still feeling strong about Drew McIntyre. And Randy Orton losing, in my opinion, doesn't change anything. Obviously he got distracted. His entire attention is on Kevin Owens. He's not here to play with Drew McIntyre. Nobody. The Viper wants to strike Kevin Owens, people! Drew McIntyre got attacked by Damian Priest, and what a reference, people. He got put through real or fake glass? I don't know. But CM Punk found it funny. If for whatever reason you're a very, very casual wrestling fan, CM Punk left AEW because he had an argument with Jack Perry over not using real glass, and you get it. You're watching a SmackDown review, obviously you know the story. So we finally got the contract signing, people. Nick Aldis introduces Roman Reigns. He wants acknowledgement, and we got Seth Rollins. They talked about their shared past. They once wanted to burn down the old system, but Roman says, not we. I built WWE into what it is today. So that was already pretty interesting, very personal. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, the history is absolutely unbelievable. Again, I know a lot of you guys disagree with me right here. If we're talking kayfabe, you can say anything you want. Roman Reigns can do anything bad at this point. It was Seth Rollins who turned on Roman Reigns and joined the Authority. So in my case, in storyline, Seth Rollins will always be wrong. Then we got CM Punk. Great Piper tribute. I'm here to sign the contract and chew bubblegum and an all out of bubblegum. Which is also hilarious, you know, he's not here to fight. He's doing this badass act of signing the contract. I feel like that was the joke, right? And again, Roman Reigns was hilarious because Punk was looking through this contract and Roman is like, page 4, it's on TV, people, you gotta do this quicker. And Paul Heyman says, I know what you're looking for, it's in there. CM Punk, you are a WrestleMania main eventer. He kisses him on his forehead, which to me is a big forehead, man. Like that to me is a pornography. You know, I'm not gonna say I get hard watching this, but I get half job. Well, anyway, this was an emotional moment. CM Punk was crying because obviously that was his dream. At this point, you can't tell whether these tears are real or fake. I don't know, but it did the job. This is the story. Last year, Cody got to finish his story. Now CM Punk is finishing his story. Obviously, Seth Rollins is furious, even though he is also main eventing WrestleMania. He doesn't like the fact that CM Punk is a WrestleMania main eventer now. That actually destroys him. CM Punk thanks every city, everybody, for chanting his name for 10 years. And Roman says, acknowledge me. That's how we do things right here. So CM Punk is like, okay, my tribal chief, the Ulafala holder, the big dog. That got him angry. I love the fact that it's like a bad word right now. You can't say the big dog. This is the past. We ain't talking about this guy anymore. He acknowledges that because of him, he's going to the main event of WrestleMania. So he thanks everybody, but also says, this is not the favor I was talking about. Okay, we got a twist. Love it. Okay, so there are a few things to address right here. A lot of people are saying, well, WrestleMania Night 1 main event doesn't count as main event. Here's a quick response. Obviously, Night 2 main event is the bigger main event. But still, these are two different nights. And it's not like a pre-show. 50, 60, 70,000 people, and it's almost like a separate event. You're main eventing an event with 60,000 people. It is the main event of the show. You're not gonna put anything right here. You're not gonna put two of the biggest matches on Night 2. You have the biggest match on Night 2 and other biggest match on Night 1. It's as simple as that. I agree with the fact that Night 2 main event is more important, but it also doesn't take away from the fact that Night 1 also has the main event, the last match of the show. Another question is, what is the favor? So I was thinking about it and I almost struggled to come up with it. Maybe a stipulation, which is kinda lazy in a way, but makes sense. What about the winner of Night 1 goes to Night 2? Cody, Cena. Also kinda makes sense because John Cena is not gonna be on Raw for like 2 or 3 weeks until WrestleMania, so now we can have all of these guys interacting with Cody and we have no idea which one of them is going to be in that match. I kinda like the idea, already talked about it, but this is where I need your help, people. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think is the favor? All in all, I did enjoy the SmackDown, but again, I find myself a lot of times, I can't say it, man. I don't want the heat. The 3-hour WWE shows suck. Here, I said it. Ray told me to. Thank you for watching this video, people. Appreciate your time. All love, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.